Hello and welcome to the SimRacers Asia series live on Apex Racing TV. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me this evening is Scott Newton. We're here at the fantastic Bathurst circuit for two 20-minute races today, involving a reverse grid as well. The drivers are just lining up on the grid currently before we do the formation up. But Scott, awesome to be back in Australia, and well, this place is an absolute classic, and whilst isn't used too much for single seaters, it's safe to say, I think it will still be a very entertaining race around here, with the tight corners at the top of the hill and also these very long straights as well.
Yeah, hey everyone. Yeah, certainly Sam. As you say, Bathurst is not one of the tracks that is typically used for an open wheel formula category, but yeah, it's certainly great to see here tonight for round number 6 of the championship here for SimRacers Asia tonight. So certainly looking forward to the events coming up in just a minute's time when we take the green flag.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a formation for these drivers. It will be a rolling start. Yeah, we'll just go through the final few corners behind the safety car. Oh, of course, we can go through the grid, of course. Mohammed Alif is on pole position out there. He was 6/10 of a second clear of Ayman Haziq in second. Then it's Guayim Kim in third. And then it's Tai Kim, who I believe is the championship leader, in fourth place. Then it's Yazin Yali, Matt Morris, Kustra, Mark Dredge, Ben Brook, and Stephen Bocade rounding up the top 10. And then it's Mark Winter, Lachlan Crow, Mark Lang, Niranjan Kumar, Nu Rafay, Kevin Huang, Tai Chan, and Mohammed Ibrahim, who I do not believe will be taken. So I think he's serving a suspension, I believe, after some previous antics. I haven't been around for the last few rounds, so not quite sure what that relates to. But I am around for this one. This should be an awesome race, no doubt. 20-minute first race. The top 8 will be reversed for the second race. And we are just coming through the final corner. It's Kumar from the pole position, and he puts his foot down, and we've already got a crash before the race even starts, and that's going to involve lots of drivers. Matt Morris certainly gets involved in it, and that is a massive impact for probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 of the drivers straight away. You got drivers on their roofs, and well, yeah, that's Kevin Huang, Mark Lang, Kumar, I think may have got involved in that one as well. So absolute chaos before the race even starts as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly a couple of drivers that I wasn't expecting to be out at the start, but yeah, Morris, Kim, Bocade, Crow were out of the race before it even started. I think Tytran and Ibrahim were not able to take the start, so 6 cars out already. So we've got 12 cars on the lead lap. As we're speaking, Mohammed Alif opened up a 1.2 second gap, so he's pretty much blitzed the field at this time. Second is Haziq and Yali rounding out the podium at this time.
Yeah, terrific start for those guys to straight away break away from the rest of the field after all those antics were going on. Just seemed as though a driver ran wide going through that final corner and spun back onto the circuit. And when the drivers are in such close proximity, you're always going to get quite a big incident. These drivers are pretty in close proximity currently. Yazan Yali ahead of Tai Kim currently, as they head down the chase right now. Moving up ahead now is Kim, but running off the circuit even, and really losing out down that straight is Yazan Yali. He's going to lose 2 positions now to Ru Koistra as well. So a decent start for Kim. He's up 1 place from his start, but he's already 3 seconds off the race lead. As yeah, Koistra did well to follow through as well. Maybe a little bit of damage for Yali's car because he was really struggling down that straight. And then it's yeah, Dredge 5 places gained. He's probably been the biggest gainer up there. Mark Dredge from 11th on the grid, at least from what I'm seeing, up into 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark had a pretty good start. With the timing, it might be a little bit out, just the way that the grid was formed, and then when it changed to the start. But yeah, certainly Mark Dredge in the only Lotus 79 tonight, having a a strong event. Currently in 6th place at the moment. Just still looking at the battle between Kim, Boystra and Yali. Certainly surprised that Kim was able to get the move done through the Conrad Straight and through the chase. Certainly looking strong tonight. He's, I think, equal first in the championship as well, so he's certainly got a lot to prove tonight throughout race number 1 and 2. Always he's running wide as well. Through.
Ooh, and that's going to be Koistra straight through then, up into 3rd position past Tai Kim. So Koistra kind of just picking up on a couple of mistakes from other drivers, and he's had a really good start. Has the number 252 car, started down in 7th place, but he's into the podium positions currently. And Tai Kim already starting to lose that draft effect a little bit. You can see Hazik just up the road. Yali is now down into 6th place, so he's just dropped down behind Dredge. Dredge is having a terrific run at the moment, but Yali really struggling for pace, it seems, at this part of the race. Maybe maybe as long as he can stay in the top 8, he'll get a good position on the grid for race 2. Of course, the top 8 from this first race will get reverse gridded, and there'll be no pause as well. We'll go straight to the second race as soon as this one has concluded. But 2 laps completed now, and it's still Mohammed Ali leading the way, 2 seconds ahead of Ayman Hazik. Rue Koistra a further 2 seconds behind, with Tai Kim just on his tail. And looking as though Yali has actually got back past Dredge now, just in that final few corners. But Yali really struggling down the straights, and now Dredge has made that move back again, going into turn 2.
Yeah, with the power of the Lotus 79, there's certainly aiding Dredge in that overtake. There's Yali runs wide to that loss of downforce into turn 2, but he was able to recover it, staying out of the Griffin's Bend wall, going through the cutting right now. He's got Benjamin Brook all over the back of him at the moment. See that Yali put in a 2:05 last time around, comparing that to Benjamin Brook of a 1:59.5, so near enough a second lost in that previous lap to Brook as Yali. So he's going to be all over, well, under all kinds of pressure throughout this next lap or so, if Brook is able to stay behind him.
Yeah, Niranjan Kumar is also catching up to these guys by about 3 seconds a lap. He's currently about 9 seconds behind after getting involved in that first, I say first corner. It was kind of the first straight crash. Somehow didn't pick up too much damage to him, and he's rapidly closing in on these drivers corner after corner. Here we go, though. So Yali versus Brook, and Brook is going to make this one pretty simple. You can see a bit of front wing damage there for Yasmin Yali. Really struggling for speed, and I don't really know how he picked that one up. He was far away from all the chaos that we saw, but picked it up somewhat. Maybe a little bit of contact on the opening lap, and well, he's really lost out time there. And car number 7 gets the move done. But as long as Yali stays in the top 8, which is looking quite likely at the moment, he should be okay for a good start to place in race 2.
Yeah, it might be worth noting that it's pretty easy to get a bit of contact, especially out of the cutting as well, when you're trying to maximise the exit out of there, getting very, very close to the wall. That's certainly one of the potential places. Also through the Metal Grate section of McPhillippi Park and down Skyline as well, especially on that right hand side as well. You can pick up a bit of wing damage as well, so not sure whether that's actually a slight nudge or whether that's actual contact with the wall that Yali's had, so it might certainly be affecting him, as he's not necessarily maximising those exits at the moment, but certainly staying within half a second of Benjamin Brook.
Of course, Mark Dredge getting on really well at the moment. Scott, would you say that of all the races, maybe the Lotus 79 is going to be stronger around here than other circuits that we visit?
Yeah, certainly with the top speed advantage that the Lotus 79 has, it's going to be
Koistra and into the wall. Rue Koistra had already crashed, and now that's going to involve another car and another. That was Brooke and Yarley just making their way past. And now I think has Kumar got involved in that one as well? Yes, Niranjan Kumar, I believe, has got involved in that one down in 8th place. So lots of content for a lot of different drivers. And ever so disappointing there. And sorry, it was a Leaf then who started all of it. Well, in fact, no, this was just before. So, Mohammed Ali spinning out from the race lead. And so we now have Ayman Haziq in the race lead at the moment. Rukoistra, this was how he got involved and just put off. And tried to get back going straight away and got Dredge involved. And then you'll just see a couple more drivers getting past. And I just want to see if Kumar got involved as well. Yes, he did. There's Kumar right at the back, and he was completely unsighted. And, well, we've been going so far, Scott, for, what, 4 laps in this race, and we've already seen 2 immense pileups, which have taken many drivers out of this event.
Yeah, certainly unfortunate for all of the drivers that have been involved, but certainly a long race to go. Still under half race distance at the moment, but yeah, with that entry to the Forest Elbow, it's quite bumpy as well, so it can put a lot of drivers off, as we saw. But that damage as well that Alif had with running wide at the dipper and having the rear of his car pretty much taken all of his rear downforce away, that caused that spin, and then pretty much the chain reaction of all the other drivers behind him crashing in and around him as well. So certainly one thing to keep an eye out for in the rest of this race and into race 2 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And how often have we seen that in real life, and in particular sim racing as well? So often crashes down that section of the course, and when there is a crash, there is no runoff whatsoever on such a narrow circuit. Cars can so easily rebound, and yeah, lots of blind spots as well down that section of the track. Does mean though, Ayman Haziq is leading this race. He started on the front row, was very patient, didn't look as though he was going to be able to challenge the driver ahead, but Haziq still leading the way then. Tai Kim up into 2nd position. Now he was very lucky to get through all that chaos. Benjamin Brook is in 3rd place, another 4 seconds back, as in Yarli. Got caught up a little bit in that, I believe, so he's down into 4th place. Mark Winter is up into 5th. And Niranjan Kumar, despite having quite a big impact, I think, Kumar. Yeah, he slammed into the wall. But, well, he's not looking too bad. I don't think he's made a hit stop either. So Kumar really getting away from that one very fortunately after hitting the wall, trying to avoid one of the spinning cars earlier on. These drivers do have a fast repair, of course. But, of course, going through the pits will cost you a lot of time.
Yeah, I saw that Mark Dredge was one of those drivers that took that fast repair as well. We saw him coming out just behind the leader, oh sorry, just in front of him, and it looks as though that he's been put a lap down right now. So Haziq has lapped the Lotus in the field.
Could we just ride on board with Dredge down this straight, because it's quite interesting to see how much of the advantage there is with the top end speed in this Lotus 79. Pretty unique to have a series which combines 2 cars which of course were made some 40 years apart, but they are relatively similar in terms of performance, especially when we go down to low downforce circuits like this and Monza and a couple of others as well. But the F3 has the edge on the most part, especially now around the club circuits that we sometimes visit. But you can see Dredge not too bad around the corners either, and he's keeping the driver ahead very on his front.
Yeah, certainly noticed that Mark Dredge topping out in 5th gear as well, so I think that the gearing is not as well optimised as it should be, given that this is an open setup series. But yeah, typically I would have thought that Dredge would have been able to close up very, very quickly to that Formula 3 car ahead, but certainly not able to do so with that 5th gear being just a little bit too short, I think. So that might be something to look at if Mark is going to be driving the 79 in next week's race. But also another thing I noticed as well, that Alif got past Kumar in the last lap as well. So Alif back up into 6th after his crash 1 or 2 laps ago.
Yeah, took that fast repair, and it's currently the top of the drivers who have made a pit stop. So he's about 3 seconds a lap faster than pretty much everyone else. As Benjamin Brook has had an issue, and that's a little bit earlier down the course. That's going through Skyline and into the S's. How did this one happen? Well, he's lost the car, lost the rear of the car seemingly on turning there, Scott. But hit the inside wall.
Yeah, I'll just see if I can drag it back a little bit further. Sorry about that. On the rollback, it looked to say that he just turned in a little bit too early and caught that inside wall. But then again, he just lost it on the brakes as well with the weight transfer. And yeah, an unfortunate mistake there for Brook, as he is going to rejoin back in 12th place. I think he's returned to the pits at this time, so certainly an unfortunate mistake for Brook, but yeah, he'll be one of those drivers that will be starting race 2 from his finishing position, as yeah, the top 8 are reversed in about 6 minutes time.
Currently, Mark Lang is running in that 8th place. It's looking as though the Eurasia SimSports driver is going to take pole position then. I believe he's been running the Lotus 79 for the other races this season. Of course, Mark one of the heads organisers of this season. There are a few others, of course, involved in bringing this race together. But Mark changing cars seemingly, and well, it looks as though it's going to pay off for him. He is 45 seconds off the race lead currently, but that will not matter one bit. And is yeah, still looking as though he's going to get pole position. Rui Koistra, so he's going to be in 2nd place. It will be a very interesting race 2 in 5 minutes time. Of course, one of the great things about this race is that we use the heat format, which means that there's no pause. We don't have to load up a new session for race 2 and reverse the grid that way. We can straight away, as the results come in for race 1, straight away ticks over to race 2, and well, it's a lot more action-packed, and we can a bit more continuity as well between the 2 races. As Mark Winter now, he's coming under pressure from Kumar. Alif has already got past Winter. Sorry, this is how Winter had a crash. I'll say, yeah, Kumar's yeah, got past Winter. Apologies.
Oh, yeah. I'm just
there you go.
See if I can resort it again. Apologies for that. But yeah, it looks as though that it's coming through the dipper. And yeah, the car snapped loose, and yeah, it's pretty tricky section through that with the change of direction. It's caught a few drivers out tonight as well, which is sadly not surprising, just due to the fact that with the low ride heights these cars normally use, and the large dip in the track, which can upset the car. So sadly for Mark Winter, he found himself in the wall at the exit of the dipper. Be interesting to see whether he utilizes his fast repair, and he does. So that'll promote Mark Lang up into 7th. And I think Mark Winter will be safe at the moment from Matty Morris, who is on the Conrod straight right now. So yeah, Mark Winter's just leaving his pit box right now, so he should be able to regain 8th position from where he is right now.
Yep, good to see that. And Zeke's still being kept very honest at the moment from is that Ben? Sorry, Mark Dredge behind. You can see that Dredge. You know, if he was, he's got the pace to win races basically. Has Dredge. But out in lead, Hazik looks as though he's going to be heading for the race win. It's going to be one more lap after this one. It could be quite close. We've got 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go, and a lap time around here is about 1 minute 59. So I think we're actually going to force 2 more laps in this race. Just about. If Hazik wanted to slow down, he probably could and would still only make the 1 lap. But there you go. Yeah, 2 more laps to go. He had a 1 minute 9 across the line. Sorry, 2 minutes 9 across the line. Could maybe play a little bit of a part with fuel for these guys. Maybe wouldn't have expected that. It's the 11th lap of this race. Mark Judge just got past Ben Brook, as you just see there. So Dredge up into 10th place, which of course will be quite important for their grid positions in race 2.
Yeah, certainly. With Take Him being 5 seconds back, it would have been a bit close for Hazik to back off and only take the 1 extra lap. So Hazik forced in that second extra lap, so it'll be very, very close to see when he crosses the line. But yeah, having said that though, Hazik has got a 5-second cushion, so he can just pretty much cruise around, not make mistakes, and certainly protect that lead that he has.
Yeah, I think so. I wonder if judging from Mark Dredge, do you think he's waiting behind Eamon Hazik currently, or do you think this is all the pace that he's got and he's just maintained that gap? Because it would be quite gentlemanly of him to just stay behind Hazik to the end of the race. Do you think he's being quite polite by staying behind the race leader, or as that he's going to be overtaken here? So is Dredge, and round he goes in contact with Ben Brook, and Dredge, has he got significant damage on that car, has already come in for a pit stop, of course, and loses that position, the position that he gained just before. And once again, Scott, it's that thing of him maxing out at 5th gear. He had no straight line speed by the time he entered the chase.
Yeah, I noticed on board earlier on that he was topping out about 242 kilometers an hour, which is quite a lot lower than what the Formula 3 cars are doing here today. I see that some of them are hovering around 255, 260 in the draft, so that 20 kilometer an hour difference proving quite significant for Dredge and Brook, as Brook I think is reduced that right now. So great to see that sportsmanship. There's Dredge has regained the 10th place.
So we did get that extra lap in the end. That means that Eamon Hazik will probably finish this on this lap. Of course, yeah, just a reminder, the top 8 will be reversed for race 2, which at the moment will put Mark Winter on pole position, with Mark Lang in 2nd place. I doubt we've seen an all-Mark front row of the grid this season, but this is going to probably be a first. Not sure how many wins Eamon Hazik has taken so far this championship either, but this will be enough for him to take back the lead in the championship. Went into this race on 300 points, the same amount of points as Tai Kim, only just ahead of Mohammed Alif and Gassan Yale. And after putting it on the second position on the grid, he's driven absolutely superbly since then. Used a mistake from Mohammed Alif to take the lead, and has just kept it clean since then. So around the final corner, Eamon Hazik wins race 1 at Bathurst and takes the lead in the championship for Y-Lab Motorsport. 2nd place will be Tai Kim. Next up will be Mohammed Alif, and that is a very good recovery drive. Had to get past a few drives to recover a podium. Perhaps should have been his race win, but no doubt he'll be one of the favourites for race 2 in just a couple of minutes' time. Niranjan Kumar is going to be in 5th place. There's Mark Lang, who's going to be in 7th. And yeah, will probably be Mark Winter in 8th place. So Scott's a pretty crazy race that. We had 2 big incidents and the attrition rate quite high, just showing the difficulty of racing here at Bathurst.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly not ideal to have that crash at the start, which put out 4 cars. But yeah, certainly looking forward to race number 2 coming up straight after this. But yeah, also with that notable incident at the Forest Elbow that was initially caused by Muhammad Alif running wide at the dipper and spinning out there. So yeah, that pretty much created an accordion effect as well, with 3 or 4 drivers out of that as well. So yeah, it's just going to be, I suppose, damage limitation in the second race for some of the drivers to get maximum points for their weekend, but certainly for Hazik and Tai Kim, pretty much as good as it gets. But Hazik certainly wanted to stay out of trouble for all of that race and certainly reap the rewards from that.
Absolutely. And well, once all the drivers are across the line, and it's saying Matt Morrissey hasn't crossed the line, the results will disappear on my screen. So I'll quickly go through the results of that race. Ayman Hazik in 1st position, Tai Kim finished in 2nd place, Mohammed Ali 3rd, and Yasun Yali in 4th, Niranjan Kumar in 5th, Wu Koistra in 6th, Mark Lang finished in 7th, and it was Mark Winter in 8th place, and he'll take reverse grid pole. Matt Morris just about to cross the line in 9th, there's Ben Brook, Mark Dredge, Kevin Huang, and then Nur Rafe, Guayim Kim, Stephen Bocade, Lachlan Cray, and Tai Tran in 17th place. And just to say that, the session is ticked over and the grid has been reversed. And we'll be ready for this 25-minute race, slightly longer, but it should be slightly more action as well. So on pole position then, pretty much to the reverse of the top 8 from race 1 results, Mark Winter then on pole position. Alongside him is car number 44, Mark Lang. Then it's Ru Koistra, Niranjan Kumar, Yasin Yali, Mohammed Alif, Tai Kim, and race 1 winner Ayman Hazik. And then it's Matt Morris, Ben Brook, Mark Dredge, Kevin Huang, Nur Rafe, and Guayumin Kim. Hopefully a couple of other drivers will take the grid as well. Just got Winter and Kumar to get onto the grid now. But who are you picking for this one, Scott? There's quite a few different drivers who've got a good chance. And maybe that top 8 is a little bit mixed up because certainly I think a few drivers, such as Alif, got caught up in incidents and maybe are a little bit higher on the grid than they ought to be.
Yeah, certainly looking for Muhammad Alif to storm through the field. Actually setting this fastest lap on the second to last lap of race number 1 with I think 1 minute 56.7. So he's certainly got a lot of pace out there tonight. And then also Tai Kim as well. Certainly looking forward to see how he can come through the field, as well as Hazik as well, race number 1 winner. So, but yeah, it was just waiting for the pace car to come through the pit lane now, and we'll be able to start race number 2.
Yeah, watch out for another instance. We had a big incident at Murray's corner. It's a final corner of the lap. But here we go. And from pole position, Mark Winter pulls away from the rest of the field. Mark Lang in 2nd position. We might have a change of position for 3rd, though, as Niranjan Kumar gets ahead of Ru Koistra. Koistra on the inside in that orange car, but actually holds that place. That's a really good defensive move from him. He's under pressure, though, from Kumar, heading up the hill for the first time. It's Diali in 5th, Alif in 6th, very close on his tail. And Zika's straight away got past him as the slipstream effect really does kick in. We've got side by side for 3rd position. Once again, Koistra losing out this time, and almost contact between that was Kumar and Alif, I believe, going into that one. But they all get through relatively cleanly. Surely they've got to get into single file very soon, because this battle's looking ever so narrow, and it seems like they've done that. So Alif gets past Yali, crucially, so good start from Mohammed Alif.
Yeah, good to see that everyone was able to get through their first half of the lap so far without without too much issues. A lot of battles throughout the field. Everyone very, very close at the moment. Mark Winter gained 1.7 seconds over Mark Lang at the moment, so that is the biggest gap at the moment, apart from Kevin Wang and Nurafe back of the field. But seems as though Eracing Kumar is in the wall at the exit of the dipper in the background there. So his race number 1 issues have unfortunately carried it through to race number 2, and I think he's ejected to the pits. Rui Koistra is attacking Mark Lang for second, going side by side down through to the chase, and Koistra getting the job done even before the corner.
Terrific pace there for Koistra. He was under pressure from Kim, I believe, going down into going into Hell Corner and also Quarry Bend. But since then, he's really picked up the pace and up into second position now, as Alif has also got past Lang. So Lang struggling a little bit, maybe realising that it's better just to get some good points in. He's probably not going to beat these guys on pace. So just going to let them go and get the best result he can possibly do. And he's way down into 4th place. Tai Kim getting overtaken by Ayman Haziq. Of course, race 1 winner was Haziq. And he's slowly making his way up the order, up into 6th place after starting in 8th. Kim coming back at him though. Getting into Quarry Bend. This would be very ambitious. 2 by 2, almost 4 in a row there. And very nearly contact. Tai Kim, he's going to be able to make that one. I think he is. That is a terrific move against Ayman Haziq. And now Haziq is going to lose another position here. He cannot get involved in a collision here, Haziq. But he's kept it all the way around the outside. He'll have the inside for these next 2 corners for Haziq. Kim doing a terrific job of trying to do a bit of a mugging there. Almost into the wall. He is into the wall. Now there is contact amongst 3 drivers, I believe. Certainly 2 drivers now. Now a 3rd driver has got involved in that one. That's Kim, Haziq, and I believe Rafay as well getting involved in that one. And I must say, Scott, when you go alongside at the top of the mountain like that, that's always going to happen eventually.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to happen 2 by 2. Oh, sorry, 2 wide through the uphill right-hander at coming up to the metal grate there. But yeah, that was a bit of a risky move there from Jimin Kim, and unfortunately Haziq was alongside him as well. So both of those drivers are out of the race currently on lap number 2. Certainly unfortunate for Haziq, race number 1 winner. He'll find himself down in 13th position at the end there, unless he's able to jump out of the pit lane. But in that commotion, this is the Rui Koistra's taking the lead on lap number starting lap number 3 right now. Seems as though that Alif is going to put some pressure on Winter as well, trying to get into 2nd place.
Alif showing that terrific pace they had in race 1. And here he goes then, in the slipstream of Mark Winter. He hasn't got too much of a slipstream on race leader Rui Koistra. And Alif, I think, is going to make this one pretty easily going into Quarry Bend. And there we go, down the inside. Simple as you like. And Alif, who finished 3rd in race 1, could have really won if it weren't for a mistake. Looks say he's, well, certainly a 2nd place, looking very possible. And Rui Koistra only 1 second up the road. And no doubt that Alif has a pace advantage over him. Yazan Yali was the fastest driver on that last lap, setting a purple lap time. He's in 4th place and will very quickly be closing in on Mark Winter. And but Kim now really close on his tail. They're both the fastest drivers out on circuit at the moment. So and going wide, sorry, and into the wall, just about missing the wall. There is Mark Winter, the driver who was leading for the first 2 laps of this race, but he's made a mistake like so many others have, down the hill, through the dipper, and unfortunately he's going to drop way, way down, because that's a difficult place to point your car back going the right way again.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to do a 3-point turn is very, very difficult. As take him getting the run on Yazan Yali into the chase, and he's got it done pretty much before the corner. So Kim moves back up into 3rd place. I think he was 3rd place at the end of the 1st lap. I think there was a mistake that when he was trying to overtake Mark Lang, it's kind of misjudged the exit entry to the final corner, and that's why he was a little bit further back than what we would typically have seen him. But yeah, Kim back up into third. He'll be certainly wanting to close up on the Leaf, who's alongside Koistra going up into turn 2 right now. So Alif will inherit P number 1. It's a good move from Alif. I think Koistra thought it was wise to let Mizushi go, because Alif showing he has a very, very strong pace at the moment. Fastest lap of a 1 minute 58.0 last time around.
And with the issues for Eamon Haziq already with that big crash just around this part of the circuit, and with Alif beating Kim in race 1, and it looks like he's going to beat him in race 2, the championship after today is going to be ever so close amongst those 3 drivers. Also got Yasin Yali, he's still got half a chance in the championship as well. Hamid Ibrahim, unfortunately not around today to race. As almost a mistake there from Alif, and it's been under a little bit of pressure here. Koistra will, well, how aggressive will he be? Oh dear, well that's too aggressive, and he's in the wall, is Rui Koistra. I think he tapped the wall at least. We'll have to see if he's got much damage. He's going very slowly, and yet that is it for Rui Koistra. The driver who was driving so well earlier on managed to get the lead of the race, but a mistake there when pursuing the race leader, and Rui Koistra's going to have to go back to the pits and fix that car.
Yeah, so it just got a little bit too gritty on the power there on the exit of the Forest Elbow, and sadly oversteered into the exit, or the inside wall there. And that's pretty much given him terminal steering damage. Wouldn't be surprised if he jumps into the pit lane to take his fast repair for race number 2.
Mark Dredge having a good time of it at the moment, but it's annoying this a little bit, Scott, because you think how much faster could he be going if he wasn't maxed out in 5th gear? We might see it again here just over the crest. You know what, this time he's going to have enough speed, and does get past. Maybe he's addressed those issues, and if he has, he's going to be a big danger to the drivers ahead, because that Lotus 79 is looking really fast around this circuit.
Yeah, certainly. We'll certainly go on board Mark as he's coming out of the Forest Elbow. We'll see whether we can ride on board with Yali at this time, see whether Dredge is able to pull away. See that Yali's got some front wing damage at the moment on that inside there. Whether he's had a contact with the wall or another driver, we'll have to see if we can find that. But it looks as though that Dredge is being able to pull away quite massively, so it's great to see that Dredge is able to at least find some pace out there in that Lotus 79.
He's only 5 seconds off the lead. He was showing some really good pace earlier on, and this is where we'll find out if he's still maxed out in 5th gear. It looks as though when he was racing Yali on the last lap that he was maxing out, but then on the run down to turn 2 early on this lap, it seemed okay. I think it's a bit better now, Scott. I don't know what you think, but I think he's addressed it to a certain extent, but it's still, you know, it's still peaking a little bit early.
Yeah, certainly. Probably would have gained a couple of kilometers an hour, but yeah, it's certainly not ideal with his current gear ratios, as he was maxing out at probably 243-ish, something around there, with like the top speeds that I've seen through the Formula 3s heading up north of 255, 260, so yeah, getting that gearing is certainly crucial to trying to make those overtakes down the Cod Rod Straight.
Of course, ground effects on that Lotus 79. Hopefully, of course, in a couple of years' time, we'll see some more Formula 1 cars with ground effects. Will be absolutely fascinating that. What they decide to do with the rules. But still, a while to go yet, and not a whole lot has been revealed over the details of those 2021 cars. But it's awesome to see such an iconic car out on the circuit there. Of course, around the circuit that's safe to say the F1 cars didn't race around. Although, of course, they did race around equally as crazy races as this, I imagine. Monaco, certainly one of them. Pretty much all the drivers separating a little bit. No drivers within a couple of seconds of one another at this point in the race. Maybe just gives us a bit of an opportunity to discuss the next round of the championship, which will be Monza, actually, Scott, which will be another fantastic race potentially for the latest 79. Of all the races, that should be its best.
Yeah, absolutely. With the cars heading to the Temple of Speed next week, certainly looking forward to the drafting battles that they'll have out there. Certainly looking strong for the latest 79, assuming that they are able to get their gearbox issues sorted. But yeah, with the F3 cars running low downforce configuration, they're going to be pretty on edge, I would think. Certainly going to be looking forward to that one at 13 GMT next week, as always, here on ApexRacingTV.
Yeah, should be fun to watch that one. In the Teams Championship, just looking to see how this will affect the Teams Championship. Currently, YLab Motorsports are leading the way ahead of Privateers. That's not the name of a team, as you can probably imagine. That's it, or it could be. I'm not quite sure, but I imagine it is just the collection of privateer drivers out there. Eurasia SimSport Hawks are in third place. Those top three teams are relatively close to one another. And of course, currently we've got a Legion of Racers driver leading the way. So, yeah, mixing it up a little bit, it's safe to say. And Eurasia SimSport Guardians, a driver in second, Hawks in second position. So, not quite sure what the points will be after this one, but it'll be pretty close amongst those top three teams.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out that I think Legion of Racers mainly is been Muhammad Ali soloing this championship,
Right.
unless there have been teammates that we've had for one or two races throughout the season. But yeah, it's pretty strong of Muhammad Ali to be able to get as far as up in the team championship as he is, potentially being a solo driver as well. So it just goes to show his potential as well through the team championship.
Yeah, seen over the years in various championships, Joe's single-handedly picking up a lot of points as Eamon Haziq gets in move done on Mark Winter. Winter, it feels like a while ago. He did start this race in first position and actually had a decent first couple of laps. I believe he was leading about 1.5 laps into this race, so he was really holding on to it impressively. But a mistake a few laps ago as a really cost him. Eamon Haziq, of course, going side by side around this part of the circuit. And he didn't hit the wall. Unfortunately, another driver hit the very wall that he's just come close to right there into Haziq and had to tow back to the pits, which has cost him a significant amount of time. But recovering back up into 10th place, and that will really help him in the Teams Championship and the Drivers' Championship. Of course, the race 1 winner. He's got 25 seconds to catch up to Mark Lang, which might be a little bit far. But has got 10 minutes to close down, so we'll certainly keep an eye on that one. That last time he was 12 seconds faster than Lang. Seem Lang made a bit of a mistake, but certainly still catchable for such a quick driver as Eamon.
Yeah, I saw the last lap that Mark Lang was in the pit lane, so whether that was steering damage or front wing change for Lang, it looks as though that he used his fast repair, so it would have been just effectively a drive-through penalty with a couple of seconds of fast repair that he needed to take. So we'll see what Mark Lang's lap time will be next time around, given that he set a 2-minute 20.8 last time around. And Haziq, with that mistake, with the 1-minute 58.6, so certainly not indicative of his actual true pace. Could have been in the 1-minute 57s last time around by that mistake. See that Tai Kim last time around we were 1 minute 57.3, so he was certainly the fastest driver on the track last time around, with a Leaf in the low 58s this time. So certainly going to see if Kim's able to close up on a Leaf. I think that a Leaf's got a bit of traffic ahead. That will be Ayman Haziq is about to be put a lap down.
Yep, looks looks that way. I doubt Haziq is going to play any games there by trying to hold up Alif. Of course, he's fighting both Alif and Kim in the championship, of course. So if he holds up one, he kind of just benefits the other. So there's certainly no point in him doing any of that. But good to see Kim keeping Alif honest. Would be 2 second places for him today, which obviously he's a driver who's aiming for race winners, has won many races in this championship over the years. But still, often he knows that to put together a good championship, you do need these good days where you just really grind out the points. Looks like that's what he's going to do this evening. Of course, later on ApexRacingTV, we've got the UV8 Supercar Series. That'll be round 2 of the championship, and that'll be from Alton Park, the island configuration, I believe, which will be fantastic to watch. 3 15-minute sprint races for that. Certainly do recommend you catching that one. Of course, I imagine that the people residing in Australia and Asia watching this, which I know is a large proportion of you, probably do not want to get up at 4 in the morning to watch that one, but any Europeans certainly do recommend it. And of course, thanks as always for tuning in to this broadcast, whether you're watching live or perhaps on repeat. And we would super appreciate it if you left a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and also checked out our Twitch and Facebook pages as well. So would super appreciate that one. On that last lap, Kim again 0.4 of a second faster than Alif. So he's just nudging it down 3 seconds the gap currently, and it's got round a circuit like this. If you can keep the pressure on your rival, make sure that he's still pushing at over 80%. Eventually, you might just yield a mistake from him.
Yeah, certainly Tai Kim's looking to force the mistake, but looking at the gap last time around, it was holding at about 2.4, so at the moment I think that Tai Kim is trying to push as fast as he can, obviously, to close up, but in saying that though, Alif is trying to push as hard as he can to prevent that overtake as well. I think that looking at the way that the gap is ebbing and flowing at the moment, that Tai Kim might have a very low downforce setup. Comparing that to Alif, where he might be running just that little bit of extra wing to get him through the top part of the circuit, as Alif putting in a 1 minute 57.3 to Kim's 57.6. So Alif able to respond last time around, opening up a 3/10 gap, pushing it out to 2.7 last time around. So it's great to see that Alif's able to respond. But with under 5 minutes to go, we've got 3 laps to go from where we are right now.
Quite odd the sector times between these two, as Kim did he just tap the wall there? Not quite sure. He seemed to take a very tight line through that corner. Lost a couple of tenths of a second. But in each of the sectors, at least on the last lap, lap 10 of this race, kind of 0.3 of a second for each one of them. In one sector, Kim would be 0.3 of a second faster than it would be Alif. And remember, there's 6 sectors, at least on our timing screen, around this track. And maybe just shows the differences in setups for these routes, or maybe the parts of the circuit that they're particularly confident on, because there's such a wide range of corners around this circuit. The high-speed corners at the top of the hill, and also some of the big brick and stone slow-speed corners at the end of the lap. Of course, these terrifically long straights as well. On this lap, Kim just closing in a little bit once again. I think, Scott, you're absolutely right about Kim. Just having a slightly lower downforce car, seemingly making up about 0.2 of a second down the Conrad Straight. And at the end of this lap, then we'll compare the lap times. Then, so Mohammed Ali, of course, Legion of Racers, across this line, and he does a 57.94, so a little bit slower than he has been doing. And Tai Kim a 57.5, so 0.4 faster there for Kim. But he's got to, if anything, go even faster than that if he's going to make up the time necessary. We've got this lap and 2 more, because once again, they're just about going to eke in 1 extra lap. So we've got 3 laps to go still, and Alif catching up a little bit of traffic as well, Scott. Could be problematic.
Yeah, we'll just wait to see how Alif is able to negotiate the traffic, as we had the sector times up for Alif and Kim last time around, and the main gap was in sector 4 and 5, which is pretty much the exit of the Forest Elbow all the way through to the chase. And yeah, that was pretty much where most of the time was gained. So the gap is under 2.4 seconds, but it wouldn't surprise me if Alif was able to get past Hazik, or there was a bit of a slide there for Alif coming through the dipper there, which has closed the gap even further. See that Hazik has closed up on the back of Mark Lang as well. He's going to go for the overtake on Conrad Straight as well, and he's going to get the job done before they get to the top of the hill there. But Alif will be closing up on this battle as well. Gap for the top 2 is down to 1.6. As well,
seemingly maxing out there just at the end of the straight for Alif.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing on that timing screen that he was hitting about 265 kilometers an hour. So he was certainly on the rev limiter. I think that Mark Lang will be, out of the way on the exit of turn number 1, as the leader's about to lap him. And Alif is going to be through. So Kim gap down to 1.5 now, as they're coming up over the hill to Griffin's Bend right now. And yeah, Mark Lang just jumping out of the way for Kim as well. So it's going to be a straight flight for P1 and 2 on the final lap.
Yeah, I didn't realise that this is going to be the last lap. I thought we might get 1 extra on, but clearly my my A-level maths was completely a waste of time. But no, it looks as though, yeah, that definitely going to be the last lap, and that's of great annoyance to Tai Kim, because if he had 1 more after this one, he might just have enough pace. But 30 seconds left on the clock, and these guys are very fast around this circuit, almost flat out around this section of the circuit with the downforce that these F3 cars produce. But this is going to be it, and barring a mistake from Mohammed Ali, which of course cost him the race 1 victory, he should be able to redeem himself and bring himself right back into the championship fray. I've got Eamon Hazik just ahead, and Hazik is only 4.5 seconds behind Huang, so he might be able to... how much faster is he then, Huang? On that last lap, he was 5 seconds faster than Huang, and he should have 1 extra lap, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't get lapped by Alif. As down the Conrad Straight for the last time through the chase, and of course then they'll just have Murray's corner as well to execute as well. Mohammed Alif for Legion of Racers made a mistake in race 1, perhaps cost him the win there, but there's been no mistake in race 2. He rounds the final corner and he wins race 2 at Bathurst, and that could be crucial in the point standings. Tai Kim, good result for him, 2nd place, more solid points. I mean, it's going to be Mark Judge in the Lotus 79. That might just be the first podium a Lotus 79 has got all season long. Congratulations to the 62 car. It could be very dangerous next week when we head to Italy, Monza. Really, the last battle to settle then is Huang and Haziq. They just about weren't lapped, so got all lapped to admire this battle. And Huang, who was 5 seconds slower on that lap, Haziq 1 second behind. Looks as though this is a bit inevitable, Scott.
Yeah, with Haziq's last lap time near enough 6 seconds a lap quicker, it will certainly be looking like Haziq is going to get past, but Kevin Wang, a super defensive driver, certainly know that he's not one to give up a position easily. But yeah, with Haziq being very, very close, under half a second now, it's certainly going to be inevitable as they're coming around the forest elbow. Great run for Haziq out of the elbow and into the slipstream he goes. Wang in the middle of the road and Haziq trying to go around the outside. I reckon with the draft, he's pretty much got the job done already. And we'll see whether Wang's able to come back, but I think with the gap at that 6/10 at the moment, I think that's pretty much said and done for Haziq, who jumps up into 7th place.
Easy for Eamon Haziq then. And yeah, maybe just struggling a little bit for straight line speed there was Kevin Huang. So good recovery there from Haziq. Race 1 winner. He finishes in 7th in race 2. That's not the result he was aiming for, no doubt. But it is still a decent effort. And maybe that's a last spin round Hell's Corner, just showing a little bit of his frustration. So the results are in, and we can go through them right now. Mohamed Ali wins race 2 at Bathurst. He was 1.5 seconds ahead of Tai Kim. Mark Dredge finished in 3rd place from 11th on the grid, so really impressive there from Dredge. Yazan Yali was in 4th with Ben Brook in 5th. There's Rue Koistra, Eamon Haziq, and Kevin Huang in the top 8. Then 1 lap down was Mark Lang and Mark Winter, and then the retirees were Matt Morris, Nur Rafay, Guwayim Kim, and Niranjan Kumar. That's all the 14 drivers who took the grid in that race too. So, have we got a couple of interviews with drivers? At the moment, we don't. But based on what we saw today, Scott, is there any drivers that you'd pick out maybe as favourites for the next round of the championship at Monza?
Yeah, absolutely. With Muhammad Ali being very, very strong over the last couple of races, and certainly here tonight in race number 2, he's certainly looking very, very strong, at least for next week, if not the championship. I think he was in 3rd in the championship coming into this round, so he'll certainly have a big boost in heading up into next week's championship round, but also take him having 2 second places tonight. He's, I think, going to be championship leader into the next round of the championship. So he's certainly going to be one to watch. He was very, very quick at Nürburgring at round number 1 as well. I also think that Niranjan Kumar had potentially an off week this week, but he's certainly been very, very strong throughout the championship as well. Also to Jimin Kim, Muhammad Ibrahim as well. Those 2 drivers are also very, very quick as well over the past few weeks, and certainly looking strong in the upcoming rounds of the championship.
Yeah, there'll certainly be some to watch out for. One driver who was one to watch out for today was Rue Koistra, who came away with 2 pretty good results. 2 6th places. Rue, just on that first race, I believe he got caught up in that crash at Forest Elbow. Just take us through that.
Yeah, that one came out of nowhere. It was mainly me actually. I'd hit the brakes a little bit too hard when I saw there was a bit of an action in front of me, so I blame myself on that one.
And what occurred in that second race? He started in 3rd position, took the lead of the race at one point, but I believe it was a mistake which just cost you in the end.
Yeah, it was just silly mistakes, and it would have to have been probably one of the most hectic races I've ever raced. I've actually literally just poured myself a wine right now just to calm down. But yeah, it was just as soon as I lost that lead, I knew I had to push to stay behind, and I just pushed a little bit too hard.
Of course, there's the good news from iRacing recently that all the Australian drivers will be getting improved connectivity to the iRacing servers. That must make you quite relieved going into the next few rounds of the championship when you have such close racing in this Formula 3 car.
Absolutely. I mean, coming into these corners, you've got to really think about possible lag that might be happening and just give that little bit extra space. But if we can close that gap, we can obviously race closer and harder.
Yeah, will be terrific for the league, no doubts. And next week we head to Monza, a pretty extreme circuit, of course, with those long straights. Do you expect a lot of slipstreaming battles around there in this F3 car?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of very little downforce from everyone, and a lot of overtaking and back and forth for the whole race, hopefully.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck for
Thanks,
that
mate.
one, Ree. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, SimRacers Asia and Mark Lang, of course. And I just want to call a bit of attention to you guys. We all don't get to be like, world professional racers. We all, do what we can to just have a bit of fun. But you guys and your service get us a little bit of a taste of that, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you very much, Ree. Much appreciated those comments. And, well, best of luck for next week.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Well, I think that pretty much rounds out our interviews for today, and pretty much rounds out the broadcast for today as well. So, just a bit of a reminder, of course, later on, in how many hours? 4 hours time, we will be broadcasting the UV8 Supercar Series from Alton Park. 3 sprint races there, which should be fantastic fun. As well, we'll have the Aussie Mixed and Fixed Series. That will be from 10 GMT, I believe. So catch that one. We've had some terrific racing in that series so far. Bumper grids, and has been super entertaining, that format. Then on Monday, we'll have the World GT Championship, of course, which, again, bumper grids and some incredibly high-quality driving so far in that championship. We'll also have the BSR MX5 Amateur Cup. Also on Tuesday, we'll be broadcasting the BSR MX5 Pro Cup, but on the iRacing Esports Network as well. And of course, if you haven't already, leave a subscription. And yeah, you can catch all the racing we broadcast on Apex Racing TV. But for now, from me and from Scott, we're going to say goodbye, and we'll see you next time.